Initiating podcast download. Prepare yourself. Put on your spandex. Lace up your boots. Wrap your wrists. Hide your razor blade. Head to gorilla position. Grease up your hair. Apply baby oil. Okay, apply more baby oil. Get into gimmick. Keep your ears open and your mouth shut. Have fun and be safe out there, brother. Welcome to I'm on Wrestling. Now your host, Gregory Iron.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to the edition of Iron on Wrestling with Gregory Iron. I'm your host, Gregory Iron. This is episode 274, and you're going to be shocked.
Your mother's a whore.
No, you're going to be shocked to know this, but we recorded this episode earlier today, and my mic was apparently not working. So we recorded.
Is that the only thing in this house that can't work?
So we recorded a whole episode, and well, that went right out the window. So as we record now.
So just a brief synopsis of that episode. Greg told some crack smoking mom dead jokes. So we went there. I said Veda Scott made a comment about that. It was a really flowed well. A good time that we talked about that. And then I don't remember what we said.
Anyways, so we did a Q&A episode. We answered some of your questions from social media, and we kept the episode a little shorter. It's just over an hour because we had some plans to end the year. We took a little trip to Detroit, Michigan, and
so Greg,
Jesus Christ, go ahead.
Usually, the D is in you. But tonight, you were in the D. And so was I.
Yeah. Originally, this was going to be a bonus episode for Patreon, but since, the regular episode just didn't record properly, I guess this is the episode this week. And I don't know how long we're going to go here, because as we're recording, it's just about midnight. And it's been a long day for both of us, but particularly me, because, I got up. I went to my week gig, my regular man job, my Clark Kent thing that I do, and then came over here, recorded a show that didn't record. Then we drove 2 hours and went to go see WWE Live with our good longtime personal friend Johnny Gargano, and we're going to talk about that a little bit and that experience. And yeah, real quick, I guess, before we talk about that, let's pretend like we didn't do it earlier and didn't record. How was your Christmas?
It was great. How was yours?
Great. Also, got a lot of toys.
Yeah.
Pretty happy about that.
Yeah. I got, Xavier got me some, what are these thermoses? To keep my ice in, because I like to chew ice.
Uh-huh, yeah.
And the boys got me hot sauces from around the world, exotic, if you will.
Yes.
Little mango habanero. If you'd like to try some later, I'll put it on my butt.
Right.
And then, you got me some great gifts. Nia Jax shirt, vintage.
Yeah.
I think I might have talked about that last episode. Not sure if you recorded that one.
Shut up.
Okay. And then, hey, I got other stuff. I got a fire stick, things like that. So I know you had a wonderful Christmas. I saw some of the great things that one Mr. Johnny Gargano got you.
Johnny Gargano, Candice LeRae, my girlfriend Hannah, my brother Zach and Mike.
What did Candice get you?
She got me a real Ghostbusters Proton Pack, a very rare item to get, especially in the box from the 1986 cartoon.
Signed by Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown had nothing to do with the real Ghostbusters cartoon.
Okay. Because when I think of Proton Pack, I just think of the rap that Bobby does, which
specifically for Ghostbusters 2, though. Boy, you really don't know your Ghostbusters.
No, because the only real good one was the one with the women.
Why do you do that?
Well, I know that you don't think women are equal to men. So.
I never said that. It's just not a good film. It doesn't matter who. You could have a bunch of fucking aliens in it, and it wouldn't have mattered because they were all written the same, and it sucked. No heart in the film. That's what makes the original Ghostbusters. Is like the characters are different and there's heart. I got a bunch of Ninja Turtles from my brother Zach, which is nice because I recently got the Technodrome for my figures, and all the re-releases of these Playmates toys that are just slightly cheaper than the vintage ones in basically the original looking package. It makes me feel like I've got the real thing and I don't have to spend as much money, so it's nice. And I got some NECA Turtle figures as well. My brother got me this vintage Bart Simpson Ninja Turtle shirt that I'm wearing. He knows me all too well. I got some Simpson toys, and you know what? I got the Moe's Tavern phone. I think that I'm gonna put that on my bar downstairs. You push the buttons and it makes the prank calls. Like Bart Simpson calling Moe, and is there an owl there? An owl, last name Kahalik. Yeah. And, stuff like that. Is there a Moa Ron? It's good stuff. Krusty the Clown doll. I'm just, listen, I got more toys this year than I did as a child. So it was real nice.
Who's got more toys? You or any child in America?
I mean, there's probably a child with more toys than me for sure.
I don't know that.
That's not, come on, it's just an exaggeration. I will say I've been going maybe a little too far off the deep end over the last couple years. To kind of put it in perspective, I think out of the something like 126 WWE Ultimate figures that have been released since 2021, I now own roughly 100 of them. Mm-hmm. Some of them a little pricey, but being in Facebook figure groups, I've been able to get them a little cheaper, and it's nice. Actually, I just made a trade that is going to be finalized on Friday. I'm getting a hard-to-find Chase black packaged Sergeant Slaughter action figure from the Ultimate line, signed by Sergeant Slaughter. And I'm very excited about that. It's just going to add to my little collection. The basement downstairs, I got to do a video for YouTube. I just got a brand new lapel mic.
I think you took a picture or something down there, didn't you, recently?
Probably did.
Because, I saw a ton of stuff down there. It looks like a room that I would want to visit.
It's getting ridiculous. And actually, with the new year coming, Zach and I have to do some...
It's a new year.
Go ahead.
Shane Douglas.
There you go. We got to do some rearranging down there and buy some new shelving because it's just getting insane. We actually have a giant pool table, and so if anybody's interested in buying and picking up a pool table,
that pool table's in the way.
It really is.
At first, it looked like it was meant to be there because you had a ton of action figures on it. I was like, okay, so these action figures, they're going to go here.
No.
But really, if you got them out of the way, you could move.
See, people that own pool tables or treadmills usually use them for storage. Currently, the pool table is being used for storage. The treadmill actually gets use in the house. So, legitimately.
Is my mic on? Can you check?
Yeah,
Look at it. I don't
Your mic
see.
is moving, you fucking idiot. You
I can't see it from here.
Well, yeah, of course you can. I made
I
sure.
like how I'm the idiot.
Shut up. Legitimately, if anybody's interested in a pool table, we can work out a nice little deal if you're going to pick it up and get it out of my basement because I'd like to make
maybe
more
a
room
trade
for stuff.
ski. What if somebody had like an LJN Andre the Giant?
Okay, well,
would you trade something like that?
I think because it's now the property of me and both of my brothers, I think we have to do a financial agreement.
So throw in a Hillbilly Jim and maybe a Tito Santana.
I don't think those are actually very valuable. You're naming like the ones that are
So
not
what?
valuable.
You just get that thing out of the way.
So
That
you
pool
want
table.
you want like a couple $20 figures for a pool table? Is that what
To
you're
get
saying?
it out of the way? I would.
No.
But you're the negotiator around here.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was a great Christmas. Really happy with everything that I got, and just very humbled, and I feel very blessed for the people that I get to surround myself with. And you know what? It kind of brings me to tonight and going to the WWE show.
No.
What?
You stop right now. Tell them about the shirt Johnny got you.
Why do we got to talk about that?
Come on. It was the best part of Christmas, of anyone's
No,
Christmas.
the best part was the Ernest package that he got me. In the original envelope that it was sent in from Tennessee, the Ernest Fan Club, 2 newsletters from 1984 and 1987, which also included a bumper sticker, which also included the promotional material, merchandise catalogs, the International Ernest Fan Club card that is unused, still unused in its original condition, and the icing on the cake, an original 5x7 picture of Ernest. Signed by Jim Varney simply as Ernest in pen. And, again, I don't buy a lot of autographs that aren't wrestlers. Been looking for a Jim Varney autograph for a while, but they are always ridiculously priced. So, I don't want to say that I was going to get emotional, but it's kind of like emotional. I don't think Johnny, he knows I love Ernest, but I don't know if he really knows how much I love Ernest. Like, legitimately, they just had a campaign to raise money for a Ernest comic book.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah,
Sounds awesome.
I invested $110 to get
That's like
the big boy package for the comic. So it's like a bonus edition and the regular edition, and you get access
200 squid?
I don't know what that means.
200 quid?
Don't know what you're saying.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
You're
just
just trying to talk
converting
about
math.
other currency. Is that what you're
Yeah.
doing? Okay. I don't know, but I know it was in U.S. money. It was about $110, and there's a lot of extras that come with it, including some stuff from Ernest Scared Stupid, and obviously Jim Varney died back in 2000 at this point.
No way. I think you told me that before.
It's crazy that he's been gone that long. Honestly.
I always remember the commercials on TV. And I'd be watching, I don't know what it was on, maybe ABC or something.
Yeah.
And I remember my grandma and I would always go, know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Burn.
Yeah.
Man. And then, I didn't know his name at first, so I'd always go, I'm waiting for the Vern commercial to come on.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't even Vern. That guy was Ernest saying it.
Yeah. But you didn't want me to talk about that. You wanted
Yeah.
me to talk about the fucking stupid Christmas sweater they got me. It says, all I want for Christmas is boom or something. And it's got,
All I want for Christmas is boom.
Big Boom AJ on it and Big Justice. And they're doing their stupid little pose thing. Yep.
And you wore it with pride.
Again, I'm glad that is the sweater they got me, because the other option that was in his shopping cart that he did not buy was a Hulk Hogan, Donald Trump MAGA power shirt. And I would not have wore that.
Ah, dude, come on.
No, I don't.
You would have worn it.
I would not have
You would
worn
have
it.
at least worn it once?
No.
Oh.
No. Because, I would have literally got no use out of it, because it's not even
You would have framed it and put it up in your basement.
No. So, yeah, it was a great Christmas, but I'm very blessed, and I think we all get down on ourselves, as humans. I feel like you probably, we all have those moments, but I don't know. This holiday, I felt very humbled, and I appreciate everything that I have, the opportunities that I get, and tonight. We got the opportunity to drive out to Detroit for a live show. Johnny had told me about it maybe a week and a half ago. He said, hey, if you want to go to Detroit, it's a short little drive. I can probably get you tickets if you want to go. And I was like, yeah, I'll let you know. I asked you. You were down. Any particular reason other than the actual show that you wanted to go to Detroit?
City.
You love the city.
I love the city.
Yeah.
I've performed many a time there.
Yeah.
A lot of times at the Hot Rocks.
Okay.
Out in, I think, Monroe.
Sure.
And then I knew you were excited because you were like, hey, I hear they got tons of weed stores out there, and I'd like to start dabbling.
So I know, my brother drives out there all the time for weed, and I know it's like very legal there, but like I had no idea. Like I would not have even, like it's not a thing that I would have noticed if you didn't point it out. Like every billboard, like every 50 feet, there's a billboard on both sides of the highway that just says cannabis, weed, 50% off cannabis here, 40% off cannabis here for first-time customers. It's
free
like,
vape pen.
Dude,
just walk in the door. Doesn't matter your age.
Well, I don't think it said that, but again, I think they should come up with like some sort of little mascot thing to really market it towards the kids. Like, hey, kids, weed is cool. As soon as you turn 18, that's the first thing you should do is come to our store.
Like the Marlboro Man, we could have the cannabis kid.
See, that's good marketing, right?
I know,
there.
right?
Get them started young, a lot of weed. But, I hear like there's good opportunities for therapy out there. I'd like to try to figure that out.
Yeah.
If that's a thing.
It could have been, but.
Mental therapy, physical therapy. Someone that we had a conversation with tonight, has a little bit of a background in that with some medical expertise in therapy. Alex Shelley, who we got to see tonight. Listen. So we decided to record the podcast, and the intention earlier was for the podcast to be recorded so you could hear it. But I fucked up, so please forgive me. So now we're giving you.
Well, you don't want to blame it on yourself. We don't know who fucked up.
It was me.
Okay. Don't be so hard on yourself. You did a lot today.
I did.
I went and saw Greg at work today. I took my son to the gym, and the gym is right next to where Greg works.
Uh-huh.
And so I was able to sit outside of his place of business, and right on the walls, Greg Iron sucks, and 440H for life. And then I get to see the type of clientele you work with, and it was a special day for all of us, I think.
Yeah. Well, shouldn't go into other places, work and graffiti it up, just throwing it out there.
And I took a bike.
You took a bike?
Yeah, it was just sitting out there.
Unlocked?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
One of those electric bikes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I rode that home. If you could give me a ride back to my car tomorrow, that'd be great. I'm on Christmas break. See, Greg still has to work, but I work at a job where I'm off for 2 weeks during the Christmas holiday season.
Listen, we could talk about thievery and your shenanigans all day. You're a ridiculous human. But, let's talk about our wonderful, magnificent ending to the year. Take that drive to Detroit. Nice little conversation along the way. Good times. Talking life.
Yeah, we wouldn't record that one either.
Well, why would we do a thing like that? Why would we record our conversation in the car? Come on.
Just so we had content.
I did record the match that we watched, which I'll talk about in a second. Nice little 2-hour drive. It was 2:15 technically, but I got it done in 2. And
it's really impressive.
What? That
your
I can
driving
speed?
Skills. To be able to go 90.
Shh. What?
I mean, on Route 90.
Yeah, I was on 90 for a little bit.
Yeah. With one hand disabled.
Sure. Yeah.
And the other hand holding your phone, watching videos the whole time.
That was not
It
happening.
was a thing of beauty. You guys would be impressed with it.
That wasn't happening. But let me just say something before we enter the arena.
Yeah.
Obviously, I wear a fanny pack. Okay, I want to talk about this fucking dickhead. So the guy says, how far would you say I was away from him? Probably about 20 feet.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing at this point is I have to change my password for Ticketmaster so I can log in because, if you've gone to any modern events, they need to scan the QR, but you can't just screen cap it because it's like a motion QR. So you got to go on the site. So I'm changing my password so I can log in. And I don't know why I even had to change the password. But anyways, this guy's going, sir, you got to take off your fanny pack. We got to check it for you. And so I'm like, yeah, okay. And I'm on my phone. Again, not even close to this guy. And I hear him mumbling stuff. And at one point he just goes, I can't check your fanny pack if it's on your body. You got to take it off. And I want to be like, hey, fucker. He did say that. I want to be like, I don't want to get belligerent because I'm like, I want to go in this fucking show. And I'm like, I wanted to be like, hey, fucking dickhead. You see I'm fucking doing something? Shut the fuck up. But I didn't.
No.
Because I was telling you, I got aggressive with the Uber Eats guy yesterday. I don't know where all this aggression's going for. Did I mention that I'm very humble and appreciative of the people in my life? But like, I don't like stupidity. Like, this guy supposedly left my Outback Steakhouse on my front porch. I open my door. I look on my porch. There's no Outback Steakhouse. So I give him the benefit of the doubt yesterday. And I look at the next door neighbor. I look at the other next door neighbor. There's no Outback Steakhouse on their porch either. So I call Uber Eats and I get connected with the guy. And I go, hey, where's my food? And he's some sort of a foreign individual. He's got an accent. And he goes, left on front porch. And I go, okay, well, I'm on my front porch and I don't see it. So maybe you left it on the wrong porch. And so then this guy, I hear him go, and then he hangs up the phone, and now I'm fucking pissed. So I call back, and I get connected with him again. I was like, hey, man, where did you leave my food because it's not on the porch? He goes, did you look on front porch? And I go, yeah, I did. Did you leave it on the wrong porch? Here's my address. Is this the address you left it at? And he goes, maybe check front porch. And I go, maybe I'm on my front porch. I have one front porch. I'm on it, and my food is not. So where is my fucking food? And then I realized, you know what? This guy might still have my address, so maybe I should just calm down. So basically, I just got a refund from Uber Eats, and I reordered the goddamn food. I should have just got it myself. Anyways.
Outback, you like it?
I not only do I like it, I think their baked potato is really good, and I think it's because they just probably cover it in salt.
Okay.
It's the most delicious baked potato I've ever had in my life.
They have a thick salt on there.
It's great.
Yeah. You know what? This makes sense because you like that pretzel pizza from Caesar's that I say has too much thick salt on it. So, yeah, you liking the baked potato from the Outback.
I think because like you just lack thickness in certain departments of your manhood.
Yeah, and my wiener is really
it.
shriveled lately. I'd like you to take a look at it.
I'm not going to look.
Just take a peek.
No, I'm fine.
Here, I'm unzipping now.
Stop it.
I'm wearing sweats.
But this guy with the fanny pack at the door. So he's like talking shit, and I'm just ignoring it. And I walk up to him, and he's like, I got to check your bag. And he's very specific. I make sure you got no knives. I'm like, okay. And I wanted to like laugh at like, what? Okay, I'm not bringing in knives.
So at this point, I'm just in the middle of all this.
Yeah.
Because I have nothing to do with your Ticketmaster. And I'm also trying to help this guy understand that you're unable to do the task he's asking you to do at the moment because you're trying to get your Ticketmaster figured out. And finally, you give him the bag, and I start unzipping things for him to look through because I'm trying to diffuse the situation.
Well,
because you're heated. You're getting ready to, like, turn heel on this guy. In all fairness, he kind of deserved it.
My fanny pack is also a mess, but it's like it's my mess. Like it's
your fanny pack. It's like telling a woman she shouldn't have so much stuff in her purse.
He literally said, "This is one of the worst. This is one of the messiest bags I've ever seen." And I want to be like, "Hey, cocksucker! I don't fucking open my bag for other people. I mean, here's what's in there: lotion for my face." I've got
baby oil from Eric.
I don't have baby oil. I have scar cream now that I'm putting scar cream on the big gash on my head from a death match. So if I stay over someone's house, I want to have the scar cream on me. I have dental floss. I have toothpaste. I have a toothbrush. I happened, which became a big controversy for a second, I had batteries in my fanny pack. So he's like, can't have batteries. Why do you have batteries?
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's okay if you have like one or something. I don't know why so many. Why so many batteries?
I said, I don't know. I do a podcast, man, so I carry batteries on me. And so
he's like, something's jabbing me. I got to tell you, something's jabbing me right now.
And I was like, it's probably a piece of floss.
I said, it's a toothpick.
It has the little gimmicks at the end of it to fucking pick your teeth, and I'm just getting pissed because he's just talking shit while he's going through my bag, but like not in like a dickish, like not in the dickish way you would expect, just like almost like unintentionally being a dickhead, which kind of made it worse.
Yeah, like almost like a condescending. Like,
yes.
Like I'm not your enemy, but I'm also reprimanding you for having a fully loaded fanny pack.
Yeah, and so at one point, I take the one battery, which, by the way, there were many batteries in there. Somehow this moron didn't find them. But not that I was going to do anything with them, but I put the one battery on the ground, and I'm taking my fanny pack back. He's like, as long as you don't take anything out of here, you should be fine. And then he goes, battery, need the battery. And I was like, okay. And I fucking picked it up off the ground. I wanted to whip it at his goddamn head. He's like, is this what you're worried about? And then what was there was one more comment that he made about something.
The hole.
The hole in my fanny pack. There's a small hole in my fanny pack. He's like, and just so you're aware, I'm thinking to myself, I'm aware of this fucking hole in my fanny pack. It's like in the front side pocket. It's probably I would say about half an inch big. It's where I put my wallet. Nothing's gonna fall out of there. And he goes, just so you're aware, you got a hole here. I'm like, yeah, okay. And he's just like, so if you lose it, it's not our responsibility. And I'm just like, dude, I want to be like, dude, shut the fuck up. Leave me alone.
She said, I got that hole there so I can just shake the batteries out.
Yeah, shake them out and just throw them at the wrestler. That's my intention.
Hey, I've been hit by batteries.
Yeah, I mean, I know that's a thing that happens, and you have to take precautions. I understand that, but like, don't be a dick about it.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? So we go in, it's fine. We get to our seats, and man, packed for a live show, especially a live show running opposed the final Raw on USA Network.
Unreal. You said that while we were going there, like, wow, I'm really surprised they would run that today. And I said, they must be hot, right? I mean, you know they're hot if they're running against themselves.
Yeah.
A live show. And we checked. Nothing was curtained off.
No. I mean, like, you could see that up in the cheap seats, there, like, they wasn't completely sold out, but there was still quite a few people up in those seats. And like I said, it was packed. They were rowdy. They definitely wanted to watch some pro wrestling. And the show opened up with Johnny, who, of course, got us the tickets. Johnny and Tomasso defending the tag team championships against the Motor City Machine Guns, Hometown Boys, and A-Town Down Under. And
hey, for Motor City Machine Guns only being there for less than 6 months, the pop they got, like, the people were ready for them.
Has it even been 3 months?
They've only had a handful of matches there, and the people exploded as soon as it was so smart for them to be the first team to come out.
Yeah.
And it gave them a chance to just, I guess, let the fans cheer their asses off, and they got to soak it in. And they were hot, man. And you were saying it was a night off because they weren't, I don't know, laying them in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
And it was a triple threat.
I wouldn't say that as much as, like, they definitely and listen, I wouldn't be surprised if this was an Alex Shelley edict, because he used to strategically plan matches like this on indie shows where, I mean, they're all so good, and especially even back then, Shelley even being so young, he was so good that he could plan matches without bumping, and you would never realize that you're not seeing any bumps. And there were not many bumps other than, actually, ironically, Shelley and Sabin as the baby faces doing the bumping. And I think Gargano, the most he did was definitely hit the slingshot spear at one point. And the other move he took, I think he took a double face buster. I think he took a couple super kicks, but you don't got a bump on that. Maybe a shoulder in the corner.
Dude, there was nothing. I mean, he wore 2 shirts.
He did. Tomasso took his shirt off, and then he put that shirt on top of his shirt. And it was very entertaining. You know what the best part for me is, again, being in the crowd listening. they went about 15 minutes. And at one point, the guys behind us go, this match is long. These guys have got to be tired. And as someone that obviously is in the ring, I'm like, there's no.
Right. They hadn't even broken a sweat, though.
Yeah.
You know, because they were having a good night. When I say night off earlier, I don't mean like they were lazy and phoning it in.
Yeah.
I mean that they didn't have to do much because the crowd was going to pop for every single thing. It's like doing a prison show.
They wanted to see Gaga.
Yeah.
They were okay.
And they
with
got it.
And
it was
they
fun.
just wanted to see their hometown guys get over. And in the end, they did a screwy finish with, what was it, Tomasso schoolboying, I think, one of the machine guns, or I'm sorry, a small package, and then Johnny held the foot while the small package was happening, and they got the victory that way. And then, of course, they sent them home with the they didn't leave, but I mean, sent them home with that match with A-Town Down talking trash about the local sports teams.
Yeah.
And then the machine guns coming in and giving them a double super kick for the trouble, and it was fun stuff. And you know what? Listen, obviously those guys are from Detroit. They wrestled in Detroit many, many times over the years, and but I gotta imagine there was probably something very, very special for Sabin and Shelley to do that for the first time in a WWE ring.
It was great.
Yeah.
All around.
So we watched that, and we watched the second match as well, which was Piper and Chelsea versus...
Hey, oh, come on.
What?
Is that how you say it?
I'm not... that's not my thing. I'm not...
Come on.
I'm not stealing the
They
game.
all say it there.
Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
And they took on Bianca and Naomi, and that was a fun match. Man, I love Chelsea. Bianca's a freaking powerhouse, man.
So impressive, dude.
We've seen it.
She
so
gave
many
her
times.
that rack.
Yes, the finish, God, just like, again, there's something about, we know it's all predetermined, but the psychology, it's not even psychology. Just like being able to see an actual feat of strength that that cannot be manufactured or pretend. You can't pretend that. Like, she legitimately she uses the buckle for help, but she still hoists her up on her shoulders, walks her to the middle of the ring.
To the middle of the ring.
And then pushes her up from her fucking legs and ass and flips her onto her face and sits out. That is freaking impressive. And Chelsea, just the perfect choice for the first women's U.S. champion. Incredibly entertaining. Not afraid to make herself look stupid to get others over, and I really enjoyed what she did last week on SmackDown with being Lady Liberty coming to the ring.
Yeah,
and just
nice.
The promo was great too. Like, she's at one point she said the youngest, oldest U.S. champ, because technically that was all true.
Yeah.
But so
hey, something I wanted to mention was in the beginning when Naomi and Bianca came out, they do this thing where Naomi kind of dances in the middle of the ring, and Bianca does her hair twirl, that ponytail. She whips it around, 360 fashion. Well, I think the intended spot was to do it several times in a row. And so as the ponytail comes around, Naomi ducks and then puts her head up and then ducks again and puts her head up and then ducks again and then puts her head up so that she misses getting hit by the ponytail whip.
yeah.
Well, the second rotation of the ponytail, it got stuck somewhere. And Naomi could see out of the corner of her eye and stopped in mid-duck and popped right back up and waited for it. And the girls bust out in laughter.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool because everybody was having a good time.
Yeah.
And we end up talking about that when we were backstage.
Yeah. So we ended up watching the whole match, and then had a hard time getting back there for a second because the floor guy was being, he's doing his job and not being condescending about it like the guy going through the fanny pack. And but eventually Johnny got someone to grab us and take us back there, and so weird. I don't know. It's so weird. Like, he's walking around talking with us in the first room we go into. Me and you would just walk right up to Cody Rhodes, and so I was talking to you. So Johnny was texting me earlier, and he was like, "Is there anybody in particular you want to meet or is there anybody you don't know that's back here? And I was like, it's weird because I feel like I'm gonna know based on the card like 90% of the people, but I just don't know if like none of those guys I was like overly chummy with ever to where it was like, do you remember me, other than maybe Shelley, right? And I was like, I mean, I know Kevin, but I don't know Kevin. I know Cody, but I don't know Cody. I thought LA Knight was going to be there. Like, I've wrestled LA Knight, but it was like just a 4-way tag, and I think that's the only interaction we had ever in our careers. And so we go back there. I guess right before we see Cody, Sabin was back there. And I don't even... Like, I know Patrick really well, but, like, I don't... Like, I've seen Chris a bunch of times over the years, but I just don't know if he... I just never think anybody knows me. And he was like, Greg, what? Mm-hmm. And, like, gave me a hug and shook my hand. And so then we go and meet Cody. And Johnny's like, hey, this is my friend Greg, and this is Aaron. And he's just a dude.
Well, Cody went right up and was like, don't I know you?
Yeah.
Like, didn't we work together or something?
Yeah.
And then... You guys wrestled together for Ethan Page, right?
Yes, for Alpha One. I think Johnny was the one that brought it up. He's like, I think you should know him for working for Alpha One. He's like, yeah, Alpha One, blah, blah, blah. And he started putting over Julian, started putting over Alpha One. He's like, I love working there, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, obviously these are like our peers and everything, but like there's just something, I don't know, man. Cody's on another level now, right? And I think even though I've worked with him on shows and everything and interacted with him quite often, the product has been so entertaining that there was still this level, like I felt like I was around a different person. There was an aura, and I was just like, I don't want to fucking be a weirdo or anything, but...
I'll tell you what, it was like walking into the room, and because he was the only one in that room when we walked in there, and he was watching the monitor, watching every single match, which is awesome. But I would picture it like if this were the 80s, it was me walking into a room and Hulk Hogan sitting there.
Yeah.
If it were the 90s, me walking in a room and Steve Austin was there.
Yeah.
And 2000s, John Cena the same way. So that whole vibe, dude, I said this and I texted to a couple people immediately. There is such a presence about Cody Rhodes. You know he's the guy.
Yeah. But he's also just a brother.
Well, yeah, he started talking carny.
Yeah, like he's talking about almost spraining his ankle, jumping out of the ring, and he's throwing around the lingo and everything. And
Johnny's trying to get him to jump off the top of the cage for us.
So the main event of the show is scheduled to be Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes in the cage for the WWE Championship, and he's trying to tell him, "You gonna jump off the cage?" He's like, I might be feeling it, and he's like talking about the psychology of what Punk and Gunther had been doing in the cage, and like he says like, I've seen what he's been doing, and like maybe I'm gonna do this, and blah blah blah. But it's like, it's funny. It's like it's definitely Cody, but he doesn't talk like the Cody you see on TV, right? Like he's just a dude, and I don't know. Again, it's just like this one of those surreal life moments where like he's there and he's in his gear, but he's got his track jacket on, but also he's sitting there, like he said, watching the monitor, but he's sitting there with like the belt's right next to him, the WWE Championship, and like, listen, that's not my favorite belt of all time, but like it was just something fucking cool about like being around that. And then I started thinking like Johnny's around this. Johnny's around this all the time. Like it's so weird, But we talked for him for 5 minutes or whatever, and then we started walking around a little bit more. And how quickly did we run into Nia Jax? Was that after Alex and?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were backstage. I got a photo. I asked Johnny ahead of time though, because I didn't want to just start taking pictures backstage.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Hey man, is it cool? Because this is a cool moment right here, and I'd like to take this photo." And Johnny's like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." So I took several photos of you and the machine, was it you and the Machine Guns? No, it was you and Johnny and Tomasso talking.
Yeah.
And then there was you and the Machine Guns were talking at a point. And you and the Machine Guns, or at least Alex Shelley, talked for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know how long it was. But...
Deep conversation.
Yeah.
It was nice. And then you apologized to me afterwards, like, I started rambling. I'm sorry. I was like, man, the whole thing was cool.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking moment, you know, and we were having these moments tonight.
Well, so here's what made it cooler for me. So, like, obviously, you know, after I saw that Shelley, you know, and Sabin had debuted and everything, I was like, man, so proud of you and, like, so happy for you, blah, blah, blah. And he wrote me back immediately and whatever. So it's the first time I see him, and he immediately, like, started asking about me, which I, like, appreciated, and we were just talking, and he's just, like, talking, like, man, I'm so proud of you, and, like, doing the motivational speaking thing, and blah, 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 and, like, what's that like, and just kind of, you know, spitballing back and forth, and I told him about how I've been trying to write this book, and, you know, I think the part of this conversation that stands out to me, and just helps me remember that we're all just dudes. We all started from nothing doing this, and we had to bust our ass. You know, he just started talking about how, because I told him again, like, you know, I'm so happy for you, and congratulations, I'm glad you're here. And he's like, at some point, he said, I just came to terms with, like, this was probably never going to happen for me. Mm-hmm. And it just started to become a thing where, you know, I just realized, like, I had these moments, and they're really cool, but, like, now they're just memories. And, like, there was, like, it was good that he had come to terms with that. He was saying it, but also there was like a profound sadness about that. You know what I mean? Like it's like it sucks when like those great moments end, and there is like, it's cool that you could be okay with it, but it is sad. Like when the thought that like you might never get those again, but it's nice that you can figure out like I could still carry these with me, and it's cool. It's a cool thing that I did. But I'm happy he's there, and he seemed very happy he was there, and like just the little things, like because he's still like, you know, he was in TNA forever, or whatever. But he's like the indie wrestler mindset of just like he's like, they treat you so well here, and he's like free wrist tape. That's what's like. He's like, yeah. And that's just like one of the perks, you know. You get free wrist tape. I'm like, oh yeah, brother, that's great.
But that is nice, though. You know, those are little things that you don't think of. That how much money have you spent on wrist tape?
Not a lot, because I'm usually the guy that is like, brother, forgot my wrist tape. Can I?
Yeah.
Can I get some?
Connie.
Yeah, and but yeah, no, it was great talking with him, and then you know at some point I was like, hey, yeah, you know I wanted to reach out to you about fitness stuff because he's always posting like, hey, like if you want to like pay for.
He started remotivating me lately because I just recently began to follow him again because I didn't like him in AIW.
Yeah.
I've been vocal about that.
Yeah.
But you told me, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, this dude's always posting this real cool like stuff about body and working out and blah, blah, blah. And so I followed him, and you're right. He has a lot of good things that he's saying on there. So when you went into talking to him about that, and he said, I don't know everything, but I could help you with some things, and whatever I can't help you with, I can point you in the right direction. Yeah. I was like, man, this guy's good.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know. Again, like sometimes I have these I have a hard time explaining it because sometimes I even have it with like Gargano, and he's like my best friend in the world. But it's like there's something about like once you get to that WWE thing, it's like there's a part of you that's like, I don't want to like bother him, and like it's all of a sudden it becomes like it's different. Like I know you're busy, and like you're doing something very important for a lot of people, right? And there's a lot of people asking things of you, and I don't want to be that guy. So that being said, it's like, you know, I've spent some time with, you know, Pat over the years in locker rooms and had conversations with him, and I've been out to eat with him before. Me, him, and Gargano, we worked out together. But then just him being like, "Man, if you're ever going through Detroit, just hit me up, man. Like I'd love to like sit down with you, get something to eat, get some coffee." And it's just like, I don't know, man. Like there's still that. It's funny, we were talking about speaking together, and I was like, I think there's still that element of imposter syndrome with that. I think sometimes it's like there's still that element of like, oh God, like it's weird that like Alex Shelley is like my buddy, you know. Yeah. Chris Sabin recognizes me, like, you know, I get to have this conversation with Cody, and it's like, I don't know,
you were pretty well known in that locker room, in that WWE locker room today. Now look, I work with all those guys. Not one of them remembered me.
Yeah, that's true. Sorry, man. Sorry.
But
Kevin remembered you.
Yeah, but you know the other thing is I I wasn't wrestling any of those guys. I was almost always just behind the camera, directing or producing the promo, and then going off and commentating for an entire 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, 7-hour show.
Right.
So a lot of times I was never seen again.
Yeah.
It's like they might remember me as a guy who annoyed the fuck out of them to get them to cut their 30-second promo. Please, for the love of God, just cut this promo. Anything you want to say is fine.
Right.
But I remember sitting in the back one day, it was so freaking cold in one of those shitty buildings, maybe like a Turner's Hall, and it was me and Chris Sabin, and like again, he won't remember any of that, but we were sitting back there, and he goes, "I just don't even have anything for tonight." He's like, "You know what? All I can think of is how cold it is back here. It's so cold. I don't want to take my sweater off right now." I think he had like a zip-up hoodie jacket, and I was like, "Then just cut that promo. Say, it's so cold, but the only thing that's going to bring me warmth is these fans and this wind tonight or whatever." And he was like, yeah. I think I'm just going to talk about how cold it is. And, but again, those guys don't remember me. You're right. Kevin did remember me.
He did. So we'll talk about that in a second here. But but then Tomasso was there.
Tomasso, another one. That guy didn't remember me.
Yeah.
Introduced himself to me. Told me it was nice to meet me, and it was a pleasure at the end of the conversation.
I don't know. I haven't seen Tomasso in a bit, and we were catching up, and we were talking about me trying to write this book and how he's been fiddling around with stuff, in which he said it's not even to a point where he would even consider showing it to anybody, and blah blah blah, and just it was a very
What's that?
A book,
his book, okay.
Writing stuff down, but again, it was just listen, I'm dumb as fuck, I'm silly as fuck, all I want to do is make jokes about everything, but I really, really, truly value a good deep conversation and one that involves introspection and finding out more about yourself, and that was really this conversation with Tomasso, just how writing stuff down that he's been through. The idea of body dysmorphia, yes, a guy like Tomasso Ciampa has the same feelings and thoughts and insecurities that perhaps you do listening to this show, or that I have, or Aaron has. And
Tomasso's in the
he's
most
jacked.
perfect shape I've ever seen.
Every time I see him, he's in better shape somehow.
Yeah.
I don't even know how it's possible. But it was just a really great conversation. He really put over Becky Lynch's book and some insight that he got from her in writing a book. And so now I think I'm going to seek that out. If not the actual book, I might listen to the audiobook because I listen to a lot of my podcasts. And yeah, it was great seeing him again.
But it's just wild to me, I don't know, man. Everybody is so cool with each other back there. It seems like everybody was a big family.
Hey, real quick, since you just kind of brought it up.
Tiffany?
No.
Oh, because it was Tiffany time right after that.
Really?
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, can we talk about that?
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
However ridiculously gorgeous you think Tiffany Stratton is on TV, same thing. Same thing backstage.
I didn't see her. I missed
No,
her.
Again, you were involved with yourself.
With my friends.
Oh, yeah,
I
them
haven't
too.
seen in a while. Thank you.
Well, we were standing relatively close to a table that just had the Money in the Bank briefcase on
I
it.
did see that. So
Yeah.
I guess, in retrospect, I guess she shouldn't have been too far behind it. So.
Right. Well, she came out, I think, halfway through getting dressed, and she turned and she looked at the briefcase, and then she turned and she looked at me, and we made eye contact, and I got scared. I'm not intimidated by women really anymore.
And then she saw a man just covered in slobber, and she was like, you know what, I'm going to walk the other direction. Is that
so
what
then
happened?
she told Nia about me, and then we'll tell that interaction later.
Well, real quick, though, you talk about, regimes changing at a different time. That ending Raw promo tonight, we watched it on the way home. Holy shit. One of the best promos by both of those guys, CM Punk and Seth Rollins of all time, but maybe one of the best ending segments to a Raw of all time. And it just so happened to be the last Raw on USA Network.
I know.
Holy shit! Like when you
Boy,
talk about
when you give those two that opportunity, and then they slay it.
Listen, to hear Punk say, "I hated the man that was in charge." What beacon of virtue
And
told
he's
you?
used that before. So
Yes,
as soon as he said that, I was like, "Oh God, he's going back to the
He's
Vince
like
stuff."
making the Vince references here, and then Rollins had some good points too about him walking away, and then Punk's comparison of did Stone Cold take his ball and go home? You know what I mean? Because listen, if you really think of the reality of the situation, why did Austin leave in 2002? They spun this narrative like he ditched you fans, but in reality, Austin was like, "Yo, this fucking creative sucks."
Yeah.
He was very vocal about it, and he's like, there's no ego about it. But he's like, "I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin. Why the fuck? Not the fact that I have to lose to Brock Lesnar, right?
Yeah.
But why am I losing to Brock on free TV? Why are we not building this up to mean something? This guy is going to be one of the next guys in the company."
Bro, we just talked about AEW's pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I was like, they just did an unadvertised Will Ospreay and what's the dude's name?
Okada.
Okada, yeah.
Yeah.
Rainmaker. Unadvertised. I mean, you knew there's a possibility it could happen, but just in the tournament, there was no build-up to it or anything.
What was it, a couple weeks ago? They just did Darby Allin and Ospreay
Yeah.
on TV.
Yep.
Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's so many they're only doing Rollins and Punk on TV because it's for the debut of Netflix.
Well, it's just as big as a pay-per-view then, and there's been a 10-year build.
Yes, but also what I'm saying is there are so many dream matches that they can do right now, or not even just big time matches that they could do that WWE's so smart. There's many of those that you could just hold off to WrestleMania. There's so many WrestleMania caliber matches like Cody and Cena, Punk and Cena, which we've seen, but we would love to see it again. Roman and Punk, Cody and Punk again for a third time. Seth and fucking Drew, yes.
I put Drew and Roman because
That'd be awesome.
I need to get back to that.
Yes, and I think at some point we will.
Yeah, but that could be another year from now.
I know, it's great.
Let me enjoy the ride.
It's fun times, but listen, if you're listening to the show, you probably watched that promo with Seth Rollins and Punk. I'm super pumped for the fucking debut on Netflix next week. But, hey, before we get back to the things we're talking about backstage, real quick, Juan Ortiz.
Yeah, he has two clouds. And on one of them is, we did this earlier. What did I say? Do you remember?
Shut the fuck up. Aaron wants to pitch a terrible T-shirt design of some sort to Juan, but
it's got clouds.
He'll do it because he's going to get paid money. But also, you know what? It's going to be a reasonable amount of money that he's going to charge you.
He's going to charge you $10 less if you mention Iron on what?
$20
again.
Less.
He's going double than what I'm saying.
$20 less.
Who is this man?
And listen, he is affordable, even though he's done some great artwork for all of the prominent figures within every major wrestling promotion. I'm talking WWE, AEW, TNA, New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm probably leaving out some stuff. MLW. He's done merch for those guys.
Half the mother effing locker room that we saw today has had merch by Juan Ortiz and his whole Weebly operation.
Cody Rhodes. He's done stuff for Cody. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Listen, I don't make these things up. And I just spit facts. If you want a logo made for your big or small business, if you just want to get a design for yourself, some sort of artwork you want to hang up in your house, a T-shirt design, something for a family, friend, loved one, something like that, you got to reach out to Juan Ortiz and Of the Dead Designs. He's going to charge you just a really good rate, but an even better rate when you mention Iron Wrestling. He'll save you $20. So do yourself a favor, reach out to Juan right now at Of the Dead Designs on Instagram, facebook.com/Of the Dead Designs, or go to his website, ofthedead.weebly.com, because Of the Dead Designs is bringing artwork to life. When we talk about life, I thought that I lived a pretty normal life. I would consider myself a pretty normal guy. I think you're a man of average looks, average intelligence, a lot of average
carpentry skills.
Yes. At one point, as we're walking down the hallway, Johnny says, "Would you like to meet Nia Jax?" And we said, "Yeah, sure. Why not? We've never met. We don't know Nia. Let's meet Nia Jax, sure." And so Johnny goes, "Hey, these are my friends, Greg and Aaron." And she goes, "Oh, hi. You guys having fun?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're having a good time." And she's hot crowd out there tonight. And Johnny's like, "Can I get a picture with you?" And she's like, "Absolutely." And then she looks at you and she goes, "Do you want to hold the belt?" And you're like, "Yeah." And then I'm like, "Yeah, cool." And like, so at first, like, I'm just like, this is, maybe she's just being really, really nice. But then, like, what was it she said at one point?
Johnny says to her, "Hey, they were disappointed that Candace wasn't here tonight."
Yes.
And I think she took it as like we were huge Candice LeRae fans or something, and not as we were Johnny's friends.
But also, no. No.
Okay.
Not
Tell me
huge
how.
It came off as like we were wrestling fans that were really, really invested in the stories and maybe didn't know that wrestling was fake.
Okay, yeah. That's a better way to put it, because then she said, "Well, you guys, Tiffy's here tonight. And you know, Tiffy told me she didn't want to be in the same arena as Candace because those two are having a little bit of trouble."
Yeah, and then that's the moment where I was like, I think she saw my hand and my Bart Simpson Ninja Turtle shirt and then saw just Aaron's face, and I think she thinks that we're mentally handicapped.
Yeah. And she's probably not far off, but also it was real weird and almost uncomfortable for a minute, but I love the picture that we got
Great
with her.
photo.
Yeah.
Very nice. I like it.
Yeah, because like at first I had my hand on her back. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
And then she was like, "Oh, you want to hold belt?" And then I was like, "Yes, me hold belt."
The only thing I regret is not saying on 3, 1, 2, 3, my hole. That would have been real over, I think. But yeah, it was very nice interacting with her. Dude, didn't even mention it. Johnny was like, hey, as Jacob Fatu was going by, and he sees me, goes, "Oh, oos," and he starts like dapping me up and stuff. I'm like, again, it's one of those things. It's like, I don't know, I didn't talk to Jacob.
Yeah, he
that
gave
much,
me a
but
hug.
He gave me a hug, man.
He gave me one too.
Gave you a hug.
No, I've never met him.
He turned right around, so he's like, "What up, bro?"
Yeah, he's like, "I think you're somebody you're not."
Yeah. But it was nice.
He showed me way more love than the people that I've actually met. So
Yeah. So
I'm bloodline, man. I am bloodline for life. I watched Naomi in that room we went back to that Cody was in the first place, and she was doing his hair.
No, that was Jimmy.
Well, what did I say?
You said Jimmy.
I saw Naomi and Jimmy, and she was doing Jimmy's hair.
I actually wish I would have said hi to Jimmy, but we just walked in and like I was like, I don't want to fucking
it
overwhelm.
was too much.
But he looks. I don't know if anybody's ever pointed this out. He looks a lot like Jey Uso.
The Yeet Man.
Yeah.
No Yeet today though.
No, well, he's on the other show.
Yeah.
So yeah, we saw Nia, and then what was the? Oh yeah. We went back, and Johnny went to a room, and he pulled out your longtime, good, close personal friend, former commentator buddy, Kevin Owens, who was.
We got the band back together.
What was he wearing? What was he wearing?
Okay, so he was wearing a Bad Street USA T-shirt, right?
He was, yep.
And Zubaz.
Yep.
Yeah,
So as you could tell, again, the regime has changed. No more dress code.
yeah.
And apparently that man had just showed up because we asked 5 minutes earlier. And at this point, it's past 8 o'clock. Hey, is Kevin here? And Johnny goes, nah, he doesn't get here till late. And I was like, wow, that's real Bret Hart of him. What the fuck? What are we doing here? Yeah, Kevin was great.
Yeah.
Great to see him again. Loved your Chandler Biggins shirt, which you insisted on wearing.
Yeah. That was uncomfortable, but that's all right.
Yeah. Weird.
Greg said, you got to wear that Biggins werewolf T-shirt that Owens wore during SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't even know where that thing is. And then Greg went out and started the car. And I think about 8 to 10 minutes later, I arrived with that shirt on over my hoodie, which was on over another shirt. Mm-hmm. And then I was sweating my balls off in the car.
Yeah.
But that's all right. We got there and got a picture with that shirt on with Kevin Owens. I sent it to Chandler Biggin's mom. We had a nice conversation, Kevin and I did, about AIW and Chandler and his mom. And so it was all good, man. He looks good.
Looked great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack, too. You
Ready for that ladder match at the Rumble.
Yeah.
Should be good.
Oh,
title
man.
for title.
Yeah. Well, how's that going to compare to the steel cage match that they're going to have tonight that Cody's going to jump off the top of?
Well, that probably happened. I don't know. We weren't there. We left kind of early. But and then after we interacted with Kevin a little bit, Johnny grabbed Cody again. We got to get one last, hey, great seeing you, and got a photo with Cody. And
hey, who was the most intimidating person you saw tonight? I think I was scared of Solo Sikoa.
Solo was pretty intimidating. Yeah,
he was walking back.
Big
I think he was taking it all.
That's what they say about you, right?
Well, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So overall, I don't know. I would say that it was a great experience. It was fun being there. And then, Johnny was like, well, I guess you guys... His intermissions. I guess you guys can go back out and watch the show now. And we're like, I don't know. Like, we just hang out with you. Like,
I didn't know what you guys were saying to me, but all I kept saying was, we can get back and podcast now.
Yeah.
We could drive back and podcast.
Yeah.
Because, I told you this. I've seen a million wrestling shows.
Yeah.
I've seen a million matches. I've been involved. I've done it. I watch it. I was going to watch it on the way home, I knew. And I knew we had to get back and do business.
Yeah. Well, and then, Johnny was like, well, I assume you guys came out here to watch wrestling. But no, I came out to see you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I thought you needed a ride home. Like not that he needed, but, like, we had talked that he might ride back with us because he wanted to get home early or whatever.
And I thought I was meeting with Paul tonight. And I didn't get to see
Paul.
him. From wrestling. He's in the office, in the big office.
What's his last name?
H.
Paul H?
Well, yeah. And so I thought maybe, because I had heard something about, probably do
Emily? Something about Emily?
No, I heard something about doing a little tryout tonight.
Oh, wow.
So we were there for a business meeting.
A tryout at the live event that they don't do commentary on?
Well, they were going to have a monitor backstage for me to do commentary.
Oh.
But whoever I was going to do commentary with apparently didn't show up. So
Interesting.
I should have just done it with you, but they wanted a seasoned veteran. So
Why would they want to season a veteran?
I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, it was a fun time, and you know what? Not only was it a great experience, but I think the interactions I had with Tomasso and Shelley, I think it's inspired me to really get back on the wagon for that book.
Yeah.
Because it's something I don't know. Shelley was like, it's something really cool, and you should definitely do. And Tomasso kind of reinforced the same thing. And I got to quit getting in my own head about stuff.
Well,
right?
all I kept thinking was, what a cool little network then. What if there was a network of guys that spoke, I don't know, inspirationally
Yeah.
and wrote books together.
Like wrestlers?
Yeah.
It would be cool, except for they can't be more important than me because then I won't get any booking. So Alex Shelley and Tomasso Ciampa, if you're thinking about doing this, don't unless you're bringing me with you because...
Well, you have the story.
They got stories too.
I know, but your story is one that has won an Emmy.
That is true, but also my story doesn't have the prominence that they do. But I feel like if I had the opportunity, my story would pull on some heartstrings of a lot more people. But that's neither here nor there. The point is, tonight sort of reinvigorated me, and I've already been feeling good going into 2025. But I think it was just a nice way to end the year. I'm glad you were there for it all.
Glad to be there.
Thank you. Fun
Thank
times.
Johnny too, man. I don't know. I must have said thank you 2, 3, 4 times to him, and then he said thank you when we were leaving.
I thought he said "fuck off." He
maybe
doesn't
that's
swear.
what he said.
But then I thought, for the first time ever, I heard him say "fuck off." Actually, it would be the second time because the first time that I heard he swore is when he interacted with who was it? Eddie the Jock Kaufman's dad.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember that
in
guy.
Norwalk. in old wrestling, and he comes up to me. He goes, "How's Johnny been?" And I go, "Oh, he's good." He's going, "Oh, the last time I saw Johnny was here in Norwalk." And it was right outside Norwalk. I said, "Hey, Johnny, when are you coming back to Norwalk?" And he looked at me and he said, "Fuck Norwalk, Ohio." And I was like, oh, and in my head, I'm like, he's never swore a day in his life. But that was the moment that he chose to an old man in a wheelchair. He said, "Fuck Norwalk, Ohio." Interesting. Yeah, it was a great time. Thank you, Johnny, so much. You're the man. Yeah. And now, as this is airing, this is on New Year's Day for free subscribers on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you download podcasts. If you're on Patreon, you got this a day early. Spending my New Year's with Johnny and M-Dog and Candace and Hannah. And we're going to play some Fireball Island. I think he's going to rent the movie Y2K. Huh? So I guess that he wants to really theme this New Year's Eve and just watch Y2K, which I'm okay with. I like that Kyle Mooney guy that used to be on SNL, so it should be a good movie made by him. And I don't know, I'm excited, not for a new me in 2025, but I just a
reinvigorated Greg.
I said that, but just same Greg, but working a little bit harder. Yeah, that's what life's about. Just gotta keep moving forward and working hard. And hey, if you like what we're doing here, we don't have any extra stuff. I'm going to upload the match with Johnny and Tomasso and the Machine Guns.
Don't tell WWE.
Shh. Over on the Patreon, patreon.com/Iron Wrestling. $3 get you bonus audio, $5 get you bonus video, $9 get you involved in the live chat that we have once a month over on there. You get stuff in the mail from us, $25 and up, the Howard Animal Steel tier, a bunch of other tiers over there. Check it out. It's a great way to support the show. Obviously, you don't have a bonus episode because this was going to be a bonus episode, but I might actually start doing some videos this week because I got my new mic, so I might want to show you guys some toys. And
your new mic.
My new mic, yeah.
Okay, well, make sure you turn it on. That's step one.
That is a good first step to any recording. And, hey, that's it until next week. And I guess it's one of those situations where it's I'll see you guys next year. Unless you're listening to this on Wednesday, and then it already is next year.
Or unless you donate plasma.
I don't know what that means, but hey, follow Iron on Wrestling on social media. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you download podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, all that good stuff. Leave reviews. It creates visibility for the podcast. Follow me on social media at Gregory Iron on X, at Gregory_Iron on Instagram, Facebook.com/The Handicapped Hero. Buy my t-shirts, ProWrestlingTees.com/Gregory Iron for my shirts, Aaron shirts, Iron on Wrestling shirts, Cameo if you want a shout out of any kind. And hey, just so you know, I sold all my deathmatch gear from the last few death matches I've been in. Thank you to those guys who have been supporting me, especially my good long-time personal friend, Dean Chard. And I actually still have a pair of ring-worn yellow 440 trunks, which I'm never going to be wearing again because 440 is done. They're covered in my blood. I wore them under the death match that I had in November.
So somebody could buy those?
Someone
and
could
wear
buy them.
Where do you think he's going to wear them? Whoever buys them.
I would imagine they probably are not going to wear them. And also,
probably on their head.
They're small.
Well,
I wear very small trunks, so you'd have to be a small person to fit in the trunks.
Well, that's what I said. He's going to wear them on his head.
So whether you're putting them in a shadow box or, smelling them, whatever you do with my trunks, they are available for purchase. I wouldn't recommend putting them on your body though, or smelling them, because it's covered in my dried up blood. But it is a collector's item because 440 is done, and who knows? I might be more popular one day, and you could. Have a real big collector's item. I'll sign them if you want. That's all. Aaron, what would you like to plug?
I'm on Blue Sky at Fair to Air, and then, or as my good friend Joe is Hungry on the Joe is Hungry channel likes to call me, Fair to R. We were live streaming together over the weekend, and.
Joe is hungry.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, he was taking a temperature of the room or anything when he was doing his fucking live stream? Fucking idiot.
You don't like that guy. Here's
sucks.
Somebody that you would like. I think you'll like Beard Meets Food. I might be late to the party on him. He's got over 5 million subscribers, but I've been enjoying him lately. And so that's all I'm plugging, brother.
Well, hey, it was good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you for the last time this year.
Yep, and I guess I'll see you next January, this January.
Okay, so
Oh,
here.
by the way, I'm gonna have surgery on January 6th. I'm real
Okay.
sad. So when we come back next week, I don't know what the show's gonna look like next week. 'Cause I don't know how fucked up I'm gonna be because I've never had surgery before in my life. So
Well, you're young.
I'm kind of scared. They're taking a big lump out of my back, and
And transplanting some hair into your head.
that's not true.
Oh.
But I won't really need that if this lump is deadly or something. So I don't know. But they're taking it out of my back, and they're gonna put me under. So it might be the end of me. So hey, it's been a good run, I guess.
Yep. Well, then, if you want to resubscribe or whatever, then just send the money to my PayPal account because Greg won't be able to access it on account of.
Well, you better do it fast because once I'm gone, there's no way he'll be able to put this show up without me. So
I don't even know how to do anything.
won't be much.
I'll have a microphone, and I mean, it won't be your fault that it'll be turned off.
Not a lot of content.
Yeah.
I'm pretty positive he doesn't even know how to access a PayPal account. So if you send him the money, it won't do any good.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for being there for us, and we love being here for you. And we can't wait to see you for Raw, Netflix. Hopefully that happens January 6th, and Greg's okay.
All right. Kiss goodbye.
Oh,
What?
yeah, the old countdown.
Huh?
3, 2, 1.
I feel it's really unnecessary to do a countdown.
3,
It's already,
2, 1.
already the new year for most people. So it's not Wednesday.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye. Stop it.